Hello and welcome. We're just doing a sound check. Yeah, I've got problems again. Right, that should be Courseway setting off. They'll be taking stock. Another one of the drivers, new ones. Yeah, one from the Asian map. So he gets around that one. Yeah, I've got a bit of a sound problem. I bought a new microphone, top-notch microphone, typical. Every single time I bought a really good microphone. I mean, this is like one of the really big names that like everyone raves about. I've always had like sort of issues, and but I can't blame it. There's 2 or 3 things changed, so it's just, to me, it's like being another day. Why are you not actually working? Do you know, Courseway, you've been a right pain in the backside. It's easy to use with normal workers. Right, okay, in that case, Michelle, I literally set it up so we didn't do anything like this. We go into like menus or anything like that, and it just doesn't do it. It just sits there. Now, I should have perhaps done this bit myself, because unfortunately it's going to clang into that. It's done it every single time. So it's going to do it again. I've got that ready, everyone's engine's ready. I would have set Courseway, but it looks like I'm doing this myself now, so I will, yeah, there's also the veil. Now actually this is true, this is maybe sometimes, and sometimes done as well. They can be really intelligent and like chip away, and then other times like that they'll go into it and like go, oh, I'm blocked. This is not one of them times, just like it's a ruined crop. Which is, it's not only the in-game worker that does that, of course, but it's just as like probably like something silly. For once, ruined crops, so that's not too bad. Yeah, you have to know, like say it going again. You know, I should have done what I thought the instincts were. I was trying to get Courseway to actually work. The headers don't like it stuck on the wheels. Really don't like uneven, even this ground deformation that giants are raving about. And there's not that many people like that. Do you that clang into the one I've just done it? Oh my life. I'm going to repeat bashing into the side of that because you're like so clever. Yeah. Right, okay, do you know, like, do I have to do everything myself? It appears so. Yes, I'm hoping 2 or 3 episodes have really slowed me down because I've got to check the sound absolutely really terribly. What has been happening is I've done a recording, and then after 20 minutes, and it's not like it's the end where you think, oh, it's the end of the recording, so it's not picking up. It reminds me like it's overloading the sounds, and then it cuts out for a few minutes and then it starts again. So I've got a mixing desk because the microphone I've got is a proper XLR microphone, and you don't have that socket on a PC, I only have a USB. So I sort of caused myself a bit of grief, so I got to go out and buy out a special card to interface with the microphone. Quite reasonably priced. It looks really good, but what I'm saying is, it's from any kind of diagnostics thing, you always have to ask the question, what have you changed? Unfortunately, I've changed 3 things. I've changed the microphone, I've got a mixing desk, a little one, that it could be the problem. It could cut out after a few minutes, so you just don't know which of these problems is the real culprit, what is doing it. And I also went back to my Bandicam software because I was getting a lot of issues with OBS, but I've got to be honest, it's not OBS itself. I'm just, in OBS's defense, it's a cracking bit of kit, and I use it almost 90% of the time. But I have also got 2 or 3 pieces of software that over the years I bought, and I went back to one of those, Bandicam. And it has caused me grief in the past, not so much as there was another one that was a real big name and was bragging that it was the best software in the world and all the rest of it. Well, I got nothing but grief for that. I used that right at the beginning of FS25. I'm not going to name drop, but yeah, Bandicam has always been a fairly reliable piece of software, but not quite perfect. Right, we don't want to be like, it's always had issues a little bit. I use Shotcut as the video editor because it is absolutely amazing. I did treated myself last year to the one that everyone raves about. It was £250. Yes, I winced myself. I thought, well, my wife and my daughter treated me to it. It has like a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I thought, well, okay, I can't really lose on this one. I'm not going to drop names on that because it's not fair, but it is. I mean, I tested it out. After about 3 days, I gave it a right good testing, and it was so, I don't know how, that people must use 2 or 3, because this has got the reputation that it's used by the film industry. So you think, well, okay, it's got to be fantastic then. It's got to be, because like the studios use this. Yeah, but they must use something else to actually, like again, it won't mean anything, FFmpeg or something like that, to actually do part of it. Because when you try to, like I would with Shotcut, create the final video, it's got hardly any codecs, and it did a really poor job. I mean, terribly poor, and the file size was humongous. Like, I mean, talking mega amounts more than I'm used to. And I thought, well, let's tweak the settings. And I was looking for, and I thought, well, there are no extra codecs. This is it. So, like, after about a week of trying with this biggest name, I sort of contacted their support and said, can I have my money back, please? Because I'm not really very happy with this. I think I'd prefer to go back to my free software called Shotcut. But I didn't say that, because that would have been, but you know, obviously it doesn't go down very well. It's this world-renowned software that ends up being the worst bit of kit that I've ever had a go of. And I didn't just give in. I'm not that type of person where you like have a go for like one time and then you spit your dummy out because it's like terrible. I'm used to this, and I'm also used to recording software, and I've like tried lots of different editing software, lots of different things, because I think, well, one of these I'm going to find the very best in the world. And I've got to be honest, I love Shotcut. It's and not because it's free. As I said, I've tried the best and I really was not impressed. So yeah, I'm back on Shotcut, and I can studio. There's a lot of features as well. If you were going to do like, I would imagine they use this renowned software for more than what I did, because obviously movies, there's effects and all sorts of things that they probably would have done that are, I mean, I do a little bit of that, but I try to keep my content. I could do fancy, I have done it, I can do fancy intros and all that type of thing, but what I find is that it wastes a lot of time I don't have, because this is a hobby, whereas like Daggerwin and Scruff, they do these beautiful intro scenes, and I have done them myself. It's not like I've not ever done it, but yeah, I haven't got time, not really. I have done it. I did it once on Horbelleron. I did a beautiful sort of flyover, and even I was quite, I thought, well, that's not bad really for me. I took away the hood, so you couldn't see anything on the screen other than the screen itself. So it was maximum, you know, like Scruff did on his latest car and stuff, which is it's a masterpiece. But it would have taken him a long time to actually do that, and that's what I'm saying. I would sooner kick out 2 or 3 episodes in the time that it's Scruff. Oh, silly thing, where you're going to wallop me. Yeah, I'd sooner like do 2 or 3 episodes. I don't faff around like that, and I call it faff around because it isn't faffing around really. It depends on how you view things. Again, Scruffed has got thousands and thousands of viewers, as has Daggerwin and all those ones, and they do it as a job, so of course they can do this type of thing, whereas I would sooner do the episodes. And you know, I don't do it for cash. It is literally I've never received a penny from YouTube at all, and I am like on the partner program. I just don't get enough views that I would ever earn anything. And am I sort of like worried about? Not really. No, as you do quite frequently, if you do this type of thing, you wonder at times. But I do know that a lot of channels do go through this. A lot of it is about patience. You like think, well, am I rubbish at this, or? And you think, well, people are telling me that I'm all right, and I look in editing and I like think, well, you're not too bad. Sometimes my angles are a bit like too far out and things like that, and I try to improve on that because it feels comfortable when you're like that, where the camera seems to want to fit you, but you really need to be sort of trying to show off good camera angles and things like that, which I try to do, but you're trying to do everything. But not only that, the thing is with any sort of thing, you've got to really, this is a game and there are lots of elements to it. So if I'm like trying to play, I'm not concentrating on me, I'm concentrating on talking, but at the same time I still got to pay attention to what's going on around me, and I'm not too bad at it. I mean, I've got to be honest, other than that courseplay crash, which was an epic last session, I'm normally fairly good. I sort of know roughly when they're going to finish on the field, and I have a good idea of how long it's going to take for this, that and the other. But like, and I've got, and that sort of proves your spatial awareness, or your awareness of like your surroundings and all the rest of it. That's got to be fairly good, and that's, you're just going past it, you know. You've just gone past, yeah, a trailer that's ready for you. AI, do you know, seriously, everything's going on with AI. It really is like, yeah, well, as I've said before, and in jest, we're Farming Simulator, we know how good AI is. But this is not bad though, I've got to be honest. It is very faffy, but it is, on the whole, Giants have done a very good job of this particular thing. If I'm dropping Courseplay like I have done, like, and don't mean I'm dropping Courseplay, what I mean is, it's a beta. I'm not expecting great things from it at the minute. I did expect a little bit more than that. It seems to be a bit glitchy at the minute, so the beta, it doesn't seem to be interfacing well with this, so I'm expecting there's going to be an update, and with the beta, it's one of those where you have to look yourself on a weekly basis with Courseplay beta, and you just have to upgrade it like manually. So I'm not going to be doing that until it becomes a proper module in the game again, like it was. But again, if you want early access, which I obviously do, or I wouldn't have it, then you really have got to put up with the discrepancies. But it is doing weird things, like sometimes it doesn't save the course. I was on with Event Springs trying to set a course, and it wouldn't have it. It would not create a new folder. And I'm like, I went out, because it used to have this little glitch, Courseplay, where you had to go in and out the first screen on the very first time that you ever did a course. You had to like go out, and I know this. I've like used Courseplay such a lot that you know that. And even at the end of FS25, it still did it. This still hadn't fixed that. But I think everyone who knows Courseplay knows that little tiny foible, and every piece of software's got its weird little glitches, its weird way of doing things that's not quite right. But you learn to live with it, because it's it's worth getting to grips with, because you know it's brilliant. And again, that's what I'm saying, I'm not having a go at Courseplay at all. It is a fantastic bit of kit. But yeah, I think, should we like get into a time lapse, because this is going to take a while to do this, really. I don't think you want to listen to me gabbing for about an hour and a half to 2 hours solid about this. So I'm back on this because I finally fixed, well, I wouldn't fix, no, that would be a fib. I must have spent about 15 hours on trying to fix my animal enclosure. Now you'd think I'd learnt my lesson from, like, I did a silo, a multi-fruit silo, by observing other modders and Giants themselves on how to make a multi-fruit silo. So I built it from scratch, used one of my favourite model from the game, a lovely little tiny silo from the Asian map. So I did that, I've recoloured it, the BI colours red and black. It's made from reclaimed material, so it's really cheap, a little bit like Omatana's pack that was a fight. Oh, you're going to go at me, I'm going. Yeah, it was like 5,000, a trailer park pack. I love that pack, and I use that frequently when I've not got any cash. I didn't like to use it all the time, but I've got to be honest, I probably used it about 70 to 80%. No, actually, I used burners a lot at the end of FS22. But I did use that one an awful lot. It also had that ability, which I think nearly all silos have got the ability to, that if you put a silo down first, it's classed as an extension. So therefore, if you used to go production, and that still holds true in FS25, as I tested on Riverbend Springs deliberately just to see if it was still a thing, and it is. So yeah, it's still still acts as an extension. If you put the silo down first and then you put production right next to it, it will use the storage of that. I know I've got a long way before I realised I was field. That's the trouble with chatting. Yes, I'm hoping that my sound is, just going to quickly check that we're alright. I'm going to apologise because you lose the sound for a second. I'm just making sure that my microphone looks like it's working. I've not got any third-party software this time that was boosting my microphone a bit because I needed it. That's another thing about expensive microphones. They don't have much gain. Now, I've got one of the cheapest microphones out there. It was £30. It's a condenser microphone and it's a toner. And it's an absolute darling of a microphone. Now, I'm not an audiophile, as they call it, but everyone raves about these Shores, so I've gone and bought one. Like I did another one that was a really big brand, and its gain was so low, and I was like trying third-party software, and I was like, you shouldn't really need to do this with this supposedly like all state-of-the-art fantastic microphone. So I deliberately went back to my little toner, which has got absolutely amazing gain. It's really, you don't need to like put any extra gain on, which then causes the cracking of your voice and that type of stuff. But I thought, well, let's try this. It's really good in reviews, and the software, well, let's not even talk about the software. Yeah, the software that comes with Shure, I was reading this review and he was saying, and the software is so brilliant. And I'm like, well, I've tried audio software, lots of different things, audio boosters and that, audio meter and all that type of stuff, and audio virtual cables, all of those type of things. Tried a lot of them. I'm not saying they're rubbish either. Some of them are good, but some of them cause secondary problems. Well, anyway, the Shure software, sorry Shure, but it just had an upgrade on their software. So me being me, sillily like did it, upgraded it, and then it started to go wrong. So I'm still not sure whether the problem was the Shure software or whether it's, I don't think it's the microphone, because microphones don't normally like go, but you can overload audio, and I wonder if I was overloading with the audio meter, whether I got too much gain on, so therefore it like peaked out and then upset the audio card, the audio card for a little bit, and then it settled down and started to record again. So I'm wondering if I did that, but again, you can't tell. So the best possible solution is you've got to record for a bit, because it doesn't happen all the time. It's one of those horrible and annoying things that only like goes wrong every now and again. So yeah, you really, I would like record a full episode, and then I've got a couple of episodes that I need to like do a bit of dubbing after the fact, because it's obviously lost 5 minutes in total. So I actually binned about 3 episodes of different sort of things, sort of mod reviews, or in a way it was a mod review sort of. I binned that because it was just so terrible. It kept on clipping, not clipping, that's one word. It kept on losing. We've got to be careful to do this, otherwise it will go on down the hill. So on the, that's it. That should be alright like that. Should be. Yes, I'm still in this stage where I'm not sure what the problem is, so I might have to do a bit of dubbing still, and it is slowing me down a bit, so I might have to do... Now, I've got quite a few episodes in at the minute, but if I release two a night, I could do more, but if you do, you end up running out. I actually like to keep some in reserve, so I can safely, if I was poorly for a week, I could still post episodes. So I like to do that. I did in FS25, but I've got to get better at it, because I've got a shed load of series even that I didn't actually post because, you know, like obviously it ended. So does anyone want to watch? Yeah, I did a fantastic series on Bellingwald that never got, and that was I really enjoyed that, a little mini run. It's a beautiful map, never got to show that off. Another one that was a bit troublesome, one of the German maps, but it was still a beautiful map. Again, a mini run that never got posted, so it's one of those things. do a lot of recording, I suppose, is the bottom line. Well, I mean, I suppose, yeah, that is one thing that has always surprised me. I obviously do compare myself with those who do this for a living, and I actually post far more content than most of the big names. Some of them only do 1 or 2 a week, literally, of a series, and some of them only do 2 series, and that is the lot. Or even some do only 1. Yeah, 1 let's play. So I'm quite pleased with what I achieve, really, as a hobby. I suppose it is like, wow, what are you doing? Ooh, I have no idea what that was about. Certainly got a knickers in a twist. Yeah, so I may have to figure out what this problem is. Anyway, yeah, I think it's time to, even though this work is an absolute pain in the backside, once it starts to do its ups and its downs, it does actually get quite quick. I've got to give, John, at least you're right past right near that again. I was thinking, I'm not sure whether we were going to, completely fill that, so I thought, well, I thought this was as big as the 2 fields. I thought, well, let's put your money where your mouth is, because this was at 49% full. But if you're right, I mean, we've got the silo right next to us as well. If I'm wrong, I can stick something there. But I thought, I mean, I was going to also do the putting of the grain mill down. I've not tweaked this a lot, and I think it might need a little bit of tweaking, but it's not too terrible. So it's 61%. Still quite a lot of storage left, so we shall see. So yeah, I am going to stick that down now. It's not really that important. It's not going anywhere. I mean, we're not losing any cycles really, so I think we'll just do that in a session, because like going through the winter, it can be a bit slow anyway. So, well, I mean, it can be a bit fast, not so much as you're not doing it. What I mean is, right, let's just say we're going again. See if you'll just start. They always lift the header and like sniff at it and then think, actually, yeah, I've got to finish this line. But yeah, right, let's say my words, because this is going to be a long session, I know that. Yes, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. is an awful trailer. I know it's just so up and down. There's like no place to really like do a better job than that. Wow, that did take a while. I was right. Fantastic. It was, yes. Still a little bit. I thought if we, yeah, obviously next session I thought we could get the. I was thinking I've got all the big tractors. Once I finish the baling, I can send one of the big tractors, or two of them, to actually do cultivating. But I thought I need to clear the bales off as well, so like that needs finishing. So if we've got the little field to do that. That's what I was thinking. I'll take the harvester up off camera, just literally to the edge of the field, so we're not actually doing any of the work, but so it's ready for next session. And obviously next session we'll crack on down this end with the baler. Yeah, down this end with the baler. And then once he's finished, we'll get the cultivating done on all of these fields that we've done so far. And we're not going to manage all of those whilst we're cracking on with the... I think we've only got one, haven't we? I think we're going to need to lease another one. That's the right... No, this is the right section. Let's have a look. I'm sure... No, we've got two. Yeah, we've got the plough cultivator and we've got the 7 metre cultivator. So we have. I thought we had. Yeah, we've got two. So next session... We did do well. We did. Let's have a look, show you what's in storage. You will have seen 46 tonnes in storage, nearly 46 and a half. And how much have we got in the trailer as well? Ooh, nearly another 10 tonnes of 46, 55 tonnes of oats. That is a lot of oats, it is. I've got to be honest, I have had more than that. Yeah, Netherlands, we used to do monstrous amounts on that. So we'll stick it all in the silo for now. Yeah, because you would, wouldn't you? And then we'll go up to the... I'll drop this off. No, I will take one of the... yeah, it was getting heavy for even this to actually do, so I thought, no, just empty it. So it's nearly full. But rather than just try to keep it full just for keeping its full sake, I said just like leave it. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to grab these two and take them up to the fields. Yeah, I looked at the, as I was using the front loader, and I thought that's damaged. I can't have repaired that. Yeah, so we'll get Rajot G-Plays tarpaulin down. I know why I didn't use it. I've always been very hard line about auto load, and it technically sort of auto unloads onto things. I thought, well, you've got to draw the line somewhere. And manual bale handling, I mean, admittedly, this is like awful. It really is. It's not very wide either. So you sort of, if you put one in deep in, then the other one you can't. And also the straps are a nightmare to get to. This trailer has got to be one of the worst design trailers. Give me the TPS over this any day, Schwarzmuller. Yeah, it's awful. It's just, yeah, they need it to be like on the outside of it more. They're almost top, and you need to really lean in. Not good for the game. Let's put it that way. They might be okay in real life, but for the game, not so good. Well, anyway, down to 29,788. But our business, obviously, we need to like do the grain mill. That also will put down next session, or maybe the session after. Because I think next session we're going to be like grabbing everybody and sticking them all on the cultivate. So this is all ready for the biggie again. If we're like doing this, I don't think we've got plans rather than the cedar. But to be honest, if we're doing cereal, trouble is I'm trying to do crop rotation, and it's no good like turning a blind eye to the fact this is all cereal. There's a lot of cereal. It probably is not a bad idea to, and again, it's sort of, there are only so many crop types in the game, so there are only so many things you can go for unless you're going to sell crop. Now, selling crop on hard economy is like just putting a gun to your head financially. It really is terrible. So then you've got to fall back to productions, and if you like, we all know what is available after this, like August, we can plant canola. It is good for it. Yeah, so we can plant the canola, and you would, wouldn't you? So it's one of the few. The others, they're all grain crops. We can plant barley, we can plant wheat, and we can plant canola. Canola's a legume, so I can plant that quite... or we could wait till next year, but the bottom line is you're half grown. I mean, how does July? So again, you can then, after resting the soil from a cereal perspective, rotate between the two crops. Yes, it's boring, but to be honest, farmers are in it for the cash. We can't afford to like just please ourselves. Bottom line is, if you're better get. This is the most realistic economy, and it is tough, and I really feel it. I honestly do. It's painful how hard it is to eke money on this gaming economy all of the time, and you've got to do that. It's really, you've got to dig deep. So I appear to almost robbed the field. I might go to trading next time, actually, to be honest. It needs to be one of the biggies though, because it's all hilly, really, in a way. I mean, both the other tractors are fine, but they're not fine for only light tasks on this map, where they would normally quite shine the 130 horsepower, the little Massey. It normally would be a really good sort of choice, but it's not necessarily a good one on this map. So there's a lot of things it cannot do, really, even though normally this could use the actually it can't use the yellow one, it could use the red one, the subsoil it could, but not on this map. It would like grind to a halt or do it at 2 miles an hour going up some of these horrible bits. So you could use it as a dedicated front loader, but we've got a front loader. I mean, they're both, this and the John Deere are both okay for things like spraying and fertilising, spreading and liming, but they're not much use for anything else, even for like lugging trailers. I mean, we've got the big trailer, so it's got to be one of the big guys, which means you've always got to have one of your big tractors when you're in harvest looking after. So really, although I said about, I think one of the things we will need is probably another tractor. Is any of these worth anything? Just thinking about that, because you don't need two, especially when you've got a dedicated front loader. Is either of these worth quite a bit? I'm thinking of the future, because we're not. It's worth 51,000. That's not that. I think, is this the one we actually started with? Or was it? I think it was, which is why it's probably worth such a lot. No, not selling the Lizard, even though it's not. Again, it needs a trailer specially. We probably could do with grabbing another kind of trailer, because that yellow trailer is. That's the point. I know. I think we bought it second hand, thinking it was a right good deal. But the more I've used that, the silver one's not quite so bad. I have used that, but that is really terrible. Right, what we're looking for? The John Deere is worth. Yeah, no, that isn't. So we could right now sell this. Not because I love messes, but it's a matter of value. We stand a very good chance, and we'll probably get a little bit more than 51,000 because we've already got something similar. So it's 51,000. It's with the 29. It does two things. It puts obviously money back in the kitty, but we don't need two of that for. This is one of those. Hard economy is one of those where you have to make hard choices. So this is a hard choice. And thankfully, I'm painting bits of paint on the square, so that's fine. Yeah, that is so obvious. Yeah, a little bit too obvious, perhaps, Mr. Smith. But I'd sooner be obvious and see where I'm going than. So sell for 56,517. Yes. So we have one tractor now that actually does that, and we are in the market for another tractor. Definitely, that is a really good deal. Really good deal, but obviously we've already got a beautiful, massive sight out, so we don't need it. But yeah, and that beautiful roller, which obviously price of a lifetime, that one. So I will be using the roller, although I could imagine it's going to produce quite a bit of fun on this hilly map, even for the big ears. I might have to upgrade one of the. I think one of them's 400 and something horsepower top. I think the Deutz is about where it's its top. I think the big blue, that's got about another 80 horsepower we can stick on, I think. No, we're not finished yet. Right, so that is where I'm going to leave it. Got finish this off next time, get the bales off the field. We'll put Rajots down because we need to get the bales, because I need that trailer for now. With the best will in the world, you can't just keep splashing money out when you've got something that will do the job. Even if it does a poor job, it does the job. And we're offloading to piles with Rajots beautiful tarpaulins. That was the reason why I never had them in FS22, because I thought, it's all of those sheddy type things that are auto-loady type, where you load them into the shed. I thought you've got. I think they're just too good a thing to miss, and I think everyone will understand. Because the other thing is, I like the idea of we call them haystacks in Britain, which is the silliest thing because it's not hay. But me and my wife were having a conversation about this a couple of weeks ago on why we English call straw stacks, and it just sounds so wrong even saying this straw stack, because such a thing isn't said. But we call them haystacks, but it's straw. Why do we do that? But we do. And anyway, obviously doing haystacks, as we call them, of like bales, it would take you hours on the game to manually do that. So if there's got to be a bit of compromise to make it look like you've got haystacks, stacks of bales, let's put it that way, on the side of your field in the farm, as it is you see on almost every farm now, I thought there's got to be a bit of compromise, because it would otherwise, it would be quite a chore that would take a long time. I don't mind the work, I haven't got time. I know he's done it a few times, or he's done an episode of he's not shown it, but he's done that manually, and that's taken him hours, and he's done that now. That is amazing. But I just haven't got time to do that, so it's one of those compromises which I think everyone would forgive me for, but at least we would have proper haystacks or stacks of bales on the farm like you should have. So that is where I'm going to leave it. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.